Hello, I'm Daniel Krupa from IGN, and I'm joined by Chris.
Knowing me, Chris Tilly, knowing you, Daniel Krupa, aha.
And we're sat in the Rewind Theatre, and we're going to take a look at the first full-length trailer for Alan Partridge, Alpha Papa.
And first up, we have the North Norfolk Digital sign here, which is the radio station that Alan now works for.
So, he's still on the radio?
He's still on the radio, and if anyone's been keeping up with Mr. Partridge, he has been involved in a show called Mid-Morning Matters, which has been on YouTube about 18 months ago, I think it screened, which is one of the best Partridge shows there's been. And so, yeah, he's still at the radio station when this film kicks off.
Nice.
That was soft rock cocaine.
So, there we go. Again, very much a Norwich-bound movie.
Yeah, Norwich-based. It's where Alan's born and bred and where he feels most at home.
So, is that below it, is that a joke, or...?
What, the fact that it says twinned with Rowan, Koblenz and Novi Sad?
Is that a cryptic reference?
It's not a joke. I looked it up, and that's real on the Norwich City Centre website, the Norwich Council website. It says Norwich has formal twinning links with 4 towns and cities worldwide. Rowan is in France, Koblenz, Germany, and Novi Sad is Serbia.
Nice, and there's Alan's car.
Enthusiasts, Fleetwood Mac. And this was Alan Partridge.
So this is the home of his new radio station, we assume?
Yeah, that is North Norfolk Digital, and if you have a look at the sign above the door, it says Shape, and that's going to come into play a little later in the trailer.
Okay. So this is Alan's new set of wheels.
Indeed, he's ditched. What was his last car?
Was he a big fan of the proponent? Oh no, he used to have a Rover, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought he had a Mondeo, but he was a big fan of the Rover. Great British motor.
Well, clearly he's got a Kia in this one, supplied by Fendel Motors, and any long-time Partridge fans will know that his desperation to be sponsored and get advertising revenue has got him in trouble in the past. And also, this isn't the first time he's had writing on his car, because there were rude daubings written on his car in the first series of I'm Alan Partridge.
What did it say?
Cockpiss Partridge, which he changed to Cook Past Babtridge, so that...
always thinking?
Yeah, always thinking.
Also, what I like about this is just the wardrobe they've got for Alan is absolutely brilliant. Look at those suede driving gloves.
Yeah, which I think he wears them for most of the movie, judging from the trailer.
That noise. I was having a fascinating conversation with Norfolk's...
So, presumably this is in the hallway of Norfolk Digital?
Yeah.
There's a mugshot of Alan. That looks... I think that's from the TV series, the second TV series, when he's back on radio. He looks a bit more portly.
But he is working for North Norfolk Digital, judging from the mug. And on the right, we have Pat Farrell, who's a character we haven't met before. He's played by Cole Meany. You a fan of Cole Meany, Dan?
Yeah, I used to like his work in Next Gen and Deep Space Nine, Star Trek.
Indeed. And he's apparently the late-night DJ on North Norfolk Digital. And we're going to see a bit more of him in this trailer, because he turns into the film's antagonist.
I wonder if he likes country and western music, judging by that shirt.
If not, he likes a mullet, that's for sure.
most sun-tanned child, just...
So who's with Alan in this scene?
That would be Sidekick Simon, played by the comedian Tim Key, who joined the cast for Mid-Morning Matters and is rarely away from Alan's side.
Another great jumper from CNA, I think.
Yeah.
And I think after this Rewind Theatre, we should bring that phone number and see if anything interesting happens.
Yeah. Do you think Coogan will be on the other end?
Just the answer phone for Alan.
I don't know. But a lot of the humour of late has come from the awkwardness between Simon and Alan, because they really have absolutely no comedic chemistry.
I think you can tell that by the body language. Yeah. Just not facing each other whatsoever.
His details onto the social services.
Some nice moves by Alan.
Yeah.
Been taken over. So, Pat, no one's getting sacked. Just sack Pat.
So it seems like in that scene, it seems we've got a bit of plot going on here.
Yeah, indeed. So the basic synopsis for the film is that North Norfolk Digital is taken over by a new media conglomerate that goes by the name of Shape, hence the sign over the doorway earlier on in the trailer. And so clearly Alan's worried for his job, is suggesting that Pat gets sacked, and Alan gets his way.
Just sack Pat.
Just gave me 30 minutes to clear out my locker.
So it seems like Alan's got his way there and Pat's on his way out of the radio station.
Yeah, I mean, Alan's face says he's sad, but his eyes say he isn't. He's gotten his way yet again.
And what's in that box?
I don't know, we were speculating that maybe it was an old Flat Eric, but...
A very old, soiled, heavily used Flat Eric. I don't know what you do to Flat Eric to make him resemble that.
And if you look down the right, repeat the name and the strapline, Shape the way you want it to be.
Those are the rules we adhere to.
Yeah, just marketing gobbledygook, really. That means nothing, doesn't it?
Out my locker.
Hello? Pat?
So he's taking it really well.
I believe they call that going postal in America.
There's only one person Pat is willing to talk to.
So it's all kicking off. The police arrive. He takes the radio station hostage. Well, he takes it. It's under siege, and you can see Alan's expression here that he wanted this to happen. Almost a part of him, all through his life, he wanted that moment to be a hero.
Well, we know that Alan's obsessed with James Bond, so I think in this scene he's realising this could be his James Bond moment. Although I think he's probably going to turn out a bit more like Van der Valk than Bond.
Go to you.
Cool.
So who's this guy?
That actor is Darren Boyd, who people recognise from TV Spy, and he's obviously kind of the go-between, the police officer that kind of recruits Alan.
Looking very serious.
Cool.
Will you help us?
So what I like in this scene, even though it's the contrast between the concept of the movie, the genre of the movie, a siege movie, an action movie, and how banal it is to have a map of Norwich.
I wonder if we can see the pedestrianisation plans up there.
Oh, that used to rankle Alan.
Guys, none of us choose the hand we're dealt.
We do need an answer, I'm afraid.
Why do you have another siege to go to?
See, I think in that scene he's channeling Swallow, which was the Norwich-based detective that he wanted to turn into.
Yeah. I hope Inner City Sumo makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Alan's coming in now.
So here's Alan going in, looking like, he's actually terrified it's actually happening, and he's going in. But I think he redeems it in this next line, which is vintage Partridge.
Yep.
Welcome to Big School.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you
Alan Partridge.
my partner in crime.
Oh, guest.
So what do you think the premise there is? Like, he has to chat for his life, has to talk him down, but on air.
Well, I think he's gone in some kind of negotiating capacity. So yeah, maybe he's got to talk the gunman down. But would you want Alan talking anyone down?
I don't know if I trust Alan.
The ultimate wind-up merchant.
What I like about this next scene, I thought the whole movie might just take place on one night in the radio station, but it looks like they actually go out into Norwich, maybe even Norfolk itself.
Indeed.
And it becomes a little bit more big scale than I was expecting.
Yeah.
You
People lining the streets for Alan.
are the face of this siege.
Now that guy is that actor is Nigel Lindsay, who people might recognise from Four Lions, and in the movie he plays Jason Cresswell, who is actually the boss of Shape.
Okay.
So this could be our villain of the piece, not
Right.
Pat, but rather Richard, Jason even.
Face of this siege.
I am Siege Face.
He's broadcasting from the siege.
Keep it light.
Okay.
So that is a Partridge line, isn't it?
Indeed, yeah. When interviews are going badly wrong or getting depressing, he tells his guests to keep it light.
Light.
Okay, tonight we'll be asking, have you ever...
Now, what has happened there?
I don't know. It looks like he's got some kind of saucepan on his head. I don't know, or is that a gun or a knife strapped to his head? I don't. It looks uncomfortable to me.
It looks excessive.
Yeah.
met a genuinely clever bus driver? Oh, shit.
It's almost like what they're doing is creating a very tense situation around every broadcaster's nightmare, which is filling dead air.
Yeah.
And he just has to fill.
Dead air is a crime.
Unless you fill the air, somebody will be dead.
As the hostage crisis escalates, Alan Partridge has become the chief negotiator.
You got to...
So it looks like he's tethered.
Tethered to a rope so he can't go anywhere.
But almost the way that he's duck walking, almost like he's growing into the role of negotiator.
Yeah, well, I think he's likes having the spotlight on him.
Yeah, look at the signs in the background as well. People
Happy
gathering-
40th Lucy.
More concise. So what do you want? You know, I want a helicopter. That's just an example, by the way. Okay, he wants a helicopter.
So where do we think this is? Is this Chroma Pier, Chris?
It is, yeah. There was quite a bit of press around this at the time because they were shooting in public and everyone was coming down to have a look. But yeah, so obviously the action opens out a little bit. I don't know if this could be a finale scene, maybe, because
We were discussing this. We suspect this might be the big set piece on a pier in Norfolk.
it could be. He's looking quite dapper in his sports casual.
You know, if you're going to take on a siege, wear comfy shoes. So I found this bit interesting that they go out on the road in a bus, outside broadcast kind of trailer. That's Radio Norwich. That's the old branding, perhaps, of Norfolk Digital.
Yeah.
Is there kind of a speed-like scenario going on here where they've got to keep on broadcasting or someone dies?
Oh, that's a good idea.
He's got the shooter!
So a lot of action there.
Yeah, and that young man is Sean Pertwee, who Doctor Who's son, of course. and starred in Dog Soldiers, Doomsday, and Event Horizon. He normally plays tough nuts and soldiers, so it looks like he's...
So what do we think? Undercover, like a SWAT agent or something like that?
Yeah.
Like
Do we have SWAT agents in the UK?
Armed police?
Yeah.
Take the police.
Friends, Pat, friends.
It's weird.
What has happened to your hair?
Now, who's that?
We've been waiting for this. This is Lynn, Alan's long-suffering PA, who's played by Felicity Montague. And, Partridge wouldn't be Partridge without Lynn.
I'm so happy that Lynn is in the movie, because I think Lynn makes Partridge funnier, because around Lynn, Alan doesn't hide any of his pettiness or insecurities.
Yeah, and it's all about his reactions to what she says and vice versa. And from what I've heard, she does have quite a big part to play in the movie, even though she's not in the trailer very much.
I think fans of the series find that really reassuring.
Yeah.
I take no pleasure in saying this, but a lot of people think it looks like a photograph of an explosion.
Identify yourself!
Alan. There's footage.
And another familiar face.
Indeed, we have Michael, who is Alan's Geordie friend. He worked at the hotel in Series 1.
And then Petrol Station in Series 2.
Petrol Station Series 2. He's played by Simon Grinnell. It looks like he may be the security guard, I think, at the radio station, judging from his outfit in the background. And, pre-series, Michael was in the army, and he saw terrible things.
In the Falklands, I think.
Yeah, he saw people die, and it scarred him for life. But his what he's seen has really intrigued Alan all the way through the series. So I'm wondering if he maybe gives Alan some advice.
A few tips on how to take people down.
Yep. I'd like to see Michael get blood on his hands.
Again, I think this ticks another box for fans of the series, that Michael and Lynn are both in it.
And there's one that's actually not in the trailer, but when I interviewed Coogan the other day, he was saying that Dave Clifton, the alcoholic DJ, appears in the movie, played by Phil Cornwall, and he's off the bottle, apparently.
Okay.
So good news for fans of Clifton.
So they haven't ripped Alan out of the world that he's a part of?
No, which I think is a smart thing to do. It'd be too easy to try and take him out of his comfort zone and take him abroad, or
like get a chat show in America.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy Kyle style.
Keep him in Norwich.
Alan! I'm Alan Partridge. Not been off the TV that long. Identify yourself.
He's been off the TV for nearly 20 years, I would say.
It's quite some time, isn't it?
Yeah, he shot Forbes McAllister on his chat show back in '94, and he got one Christmas special after that, but then...
kind of faded away, didn't it? Like,
yeah, Tony Hayes sacked him.
And then he almost came back a couple of times, but never really convinced the BBC to give him a TV show.
No. Oh, a bit more action. We should say the director of the movie is Declan Lowney, who's responsible for directing episodes of Father Ted and Little Britain, and also worked with Coogan on Cruise of the Gods, Paul Carf and Alan Partridge on Open Book. So he knows comedy.
Nice. Let's go back there. It looks like they're actually bonding.
Yeah, could this be a spot of Stockholm syndrome?
Maybe kindred spirits. But also I think, who's driving the van? Is it Lynn? Is it Michael? Are they both with them?
Clifton
even, on the bottle.
I should be at home in bed watching...
Oh, bit of necking with the lady.
Cheeky. Now, we don't recognise her from the TV show or from earlier on in the trailer, so this is a mystery woman.
And I like the fact that it's taking place in a disabled loo.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very quintessential Partridge thing to do, because if you're going to make love in a public lavatory, do it where there's space.
Yeah, and there's something to hold on to as
And
well.
support,
If you need grip, you need to get purchase.
Sensible and adventurous.
In bed watching funny videos on YouTube.
Have you seen Fat Woman Falls Down Hole?
That should be fenced off, really, but I'm glad it wasn't.
And there's the title, Alan Partridge, Alpha Papa.
And for those who haven't spotted it, Alpha Papa is military phonetic alphabet for AP. Pretty clever.
Very clever.
I'm not retreating. Pat's tugging me off. Now, come on, we're better than that.
And there's the release date.
Yeah, in cinemas August 7th. I'll be there. Will you, Dan?
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, unmissable. Jurassic Park.